Hello and welcome to my review of Vanir ROM. Just to note that if you click on the link at the bottom in the description to the form, you'll be greeted with Vanir ROM and a ROM called Comito, if I'm saying that properly. It is brought to us from Bart452. Bart is very active with the LG G2 development and has done a lot of work with this particular ROM. Just to show you here, I am still on the October 1st build. I wanted to try and get this set in really well and get some pretty good impressions of battery life, even though I'm still, as you can see, playing Clash of Clans, which just drains this guy. And I've been playing with some different schedulers and governors to see if I can't offset that a little bit so I can give you some more accurate battery tests, but we'll get to that portion in a few moments. First of all, you might be asking yourself, why this ROM? Well, you do, as with some other options I've reviewed here lately, get a plethora of options for customization. And they do theirs rather well as far as keeping it clean. You have power menu options here, you got navigation bar options here, as you can see, and you can change the width and the height, add keys. I did notice again, one of the complaints I had before is when you add 5 buttons, they still squish them together so they don't take advantage of the outer edges, which is a comfort thing, would be nice to have. Got your navigation ring. I only have set to 1 target because it's all that I use. Your lock screen settings are right here. You got your slider shortcuts. One thing that's not here though is your lock screen notifications. It is in the ROM, but it is somewhere else. It'd be nice to see it linked here as well. You got your custom widgets, maximum widgets, camera widget, music controls, lock screen, wallpapers. This is where you need to go change your wallpaper. A problem with this would be that when you set your lock screen wallpaper as a different wallpaper from your home screen wallpaper, it seems that you have to really slide it over to get it centered. I'll just go ahead and show you. So we're going to pick an image here. Okay, this is what I had to set the lock screen at. See how I had to slide it all the way over? Because this is where it would, let's see, it would be centered. I had to go all the way over here, and what you get here is it's centered. But you saw clearly that I had to slide it all the way over. Anyways, that's one thing I noticed. Transparent lock screen, blur lock screen, both of those do work. Battery status I have set always on and allow rotation. Continuing on, you got your status bar mods. Again, the same thing. You usually change your battery type, your clock type, notification count. Here's where your double tap to sleep is. It was automatically enabled from the install. Here's your notification section. This is where you will find your hover, your heads up, your active notifications. This is where you will find your lock screen notifications. And you do get the settings where you can hide the low priority, hide non-clearable. You get some more options right here where you can offset the height. So these are the settings that you've come to expect if you enjoy lock screen notifications in AOSP or CM based ROMs. So very welcome. You got privacy mode, quiet hours, active display, blacklist, and you do have blacklist options in your other notification options as well. In my testing, I've been using heads up. I did test hover. Hover works just fine. Halo also works. There's your halo. Okay. Panel background. Auto close behavior, filter notifications, show and drawer. Here's your recents panel. Of course, I have mine set to the AOSP style, but you got the sidebar style and the Omni switch style. Oh, and they both work as well. Omni switch, I believe I had to do a reboot after turning it on. Here's some more settings. You got your custom carrier label. You got your wake on plug, dual panel mode, so you can use tablet style dual panel settings if available. LCD density, this is where you change your LCD density. I have mine set to 380. As you can see, the normal is 480. System app remover, I do recommend going through, and if there's anything you don't use, just go ahead and remove it. Why not? And you got your boot animation set as the default. Immersive desktop is here. You got enable. You got your style here, so you can keep your status bar, which I have done. Low profile mode and expanded desktop. So that's all your interface settings. Then you go into hardware. Hardware is where you're going to get into your governors, and we got your buttons here first. Let's go through buttons. You got your wake up on volume pressing. Got your reorientation, fast torch, quick camera, in call, launch music app, voice controls. All right, here we go with our kernel performance. Here's your processor governor. I have mine set to Bacon. I've been testing out Bacon. It's been talked about a lot. The options you come with are hybrid. I did not test that one, or darkness. Nightmare I didn't test. Intel Active I did test. Intel Demand I tested. Interactive I tested. On Demand Plus I tested. Did not test On Demand, Power Save, Conservative, or Performance. I/O Scheduler, I have it set to row right now. I've been going between row, deadline, and BFQ. Memory management, 16-bit transparency. Double tap to wake again is there. As far as to wake it up when the screen is off. Vibrator intensity and calibration control. I've seen a lot of people asking for this feature to be able to turn it off. I guess they've been having problems. It does not have any problems in my pocket. I don't have any problems waking up. Your themes do work here, and I did test a couple of those as well. And that is pretty much all the customization you go through here, except let's go through quiet hours. I like the implementation of quiet hours in this ROM. You have quite a bit of customization in how quiet hours works and when it enables. Okay, so I was a fan, and quiet hours works. Your DSP manager worked fine. Other than that, you can change your camera shutter sound here. We'll go through display and lights, status bar brightness slider, rotation settings, wallpaper, sleep, daytime, font size, animation control, cast screen, notification light, and battery light. And that's all the customizations you get with this ROM. Alright, so let's dive into some of the dislikes about the ROM. I talked about the lock screen wallpaper bug. YouTube videos, they stuttered a lot, and I had to do some digging, and to fix that, it's actually quite simple. Go into the build prop editor, and right down here you'll see AV streaming offload enabled. That was set to true. Just change it to false. Reboot and you're done. This is build prop editor, available in the Play Store, very easy to use. I tried playing with custom kernels on this ROM, and what I found was that they must be using some different audio some different audio sources, maybe the Nexus 5, I'm not really sure, but render kernel gave me no audio with videos, and that just wasn't what I was looking for there to happen with render kernel. I've had good results with it in the past. Other than that, really the ROM's been very fluid. I've had some email crashes when I'm clicking on the notification from the notification shade down here, but I mean, I'll show you, everything loads pretty smooth. This ROM is pretty quick, fluid. I do notice the micro stutter in certain applications, and that is what it is. But, and obviously this is actually more depending on your network, but there you go. Alright, loads are pretty quick, no hesitations. Continuing on, once I deleted that line in the build prop editor, my Netflix also worked properly. Alright, so we're going to run a benchmark for you right here. And while the benchmark is running, this is Antutu 5.1. While that's going, we'll talk about the ROM. It's overall as a daily driver, very stable. Temperatures are, they're average for AOSP-based ROMs. It did get warm. Obviously, playing Clash of Clans was definitely an indicator on that. However, it also cooled down rather quickly as soon as I stopped playing or stopped doing intensive things. So it's just normal usage there. It's just what you expect. Considerations when installing this ROM: make sure you are on the KitKat baseband because it is on KitKat sources. Other than that, the battery life, we'll show you the battery life tests here in a moment. Free RAM, I found it to be around 1.2 gigs, and after some extended usage, around 600 megs, but as soon as you'd clear it, it popped right back up there between 800 and 1 gig, roughly, close in that area. Art and Dalvik. On Art, I could not test this ROM because my Outlook continued to crash, my Outlook servers for my email, and I have to have email on my phone, so I tried working around it, tried using different email applications like K9, and still I got that constant crash, so I had to go with Dalvik. So all my testing is on Dalvik, none of it on Art. A2DP does work wonderfully on this ROM. It syncs first time every time with My4 Touch. It shares text messaging through the head unit, lets the head unit handle the text messages. It streams audio with metadata supported, so you can get your song titles and your artist information. The same thing with Kia Uvo as far as the metadata goes. Streams audio. The audio quality is just what you come to expect from it. It's not going to blow you away, but hey, it's Bluetooth audio. I don't think I've come across Bluetooth audio that is stellar, but I'm not an audiophile. It works fine for what I use it for, which is to stream Google Play Music. Really, this has been a pretty positive experience once I could fix the video streaming, because the video streaming issue wasn't just Netflix, it wasn't just YouTube, but it was any embedded video in a web page, and you would try to open it up and it was just super choppy. So remember that build prop edit that I showed you, and I'm going to stop this while this is running because obviously it's going to take a second for it. So here are your results, 37,634. Details wise, we'll scroll through here. There's your scores. And just so you can see, there you go. Alright, so not terrible, not the best, but definitely is speedy enough, and doesn't, again, except for like in applications of Tap to Talk, which is typical, and sometimes in Facebook, you get that scroll lag. Real quick, we're going to go ahead and go over your battery life results. And this is not every day that I tested it, because again I was draining the crazy out of this guy with Clash of Clans. Here we go. You're at 8 hours 45 minutes off the charger, 3 hours and 42 minutes of screen on time, and I mean you can see what's happening there. And still had 19% left, so that's actually really good considering what I was doing with it. 14 hours 12 minutes off the charger. Again, you can just see these drops. Okay. And it's 3 hours 49 minutes on the charger and 15% left. So you'd break the 4 hours, and you can see again here Clash of Clans. Then you got Google Play underneath it, and 1013. And this is that email crash that you do get occasionally, even on Dalvik, when you click on the notification. For the last thing we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and do a power test and show you how quickly the phone boots, and show you the boot animation. Then to completely power off, get the timer here, and okay, so there we go. Let that go, and as of right now on the forum, you are at 2,265 posts. In these posts, you'll find buried some new kernels that Bart's brought to us. Don't be confused by them. If it's the F2FS, you will have to wipe all your partitions, including your internal storage, so you will lose your data. That's about 26 seconds. I stopped it a little late. That's pretty good there. If it's the F2FS, you will have to format all of your partitions and you'll lose your data, but that's just the way it goes. There are some advantages there that some people are reporting, but I didn't see any need to do it, and I did not update the kernel for this because, again, I was trying to make sure that let this ROM set in real nice and make sure that I could be as accurate as possible in my results and in my finding. So if you found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up. Please ask any questions you have, and I'll be moving on to the next ROM.